together. Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
The first speech is New Communist Party of Yugoslavia.
Dear comrades and friends, first of all, I would salute all of you in front of the new Communist Party of Yugoslavia. If somebody knows in Europe what does mean NATO humanitarian actions and interventions, my people and my country knows what does mean. During the 78 days, NATO bombed us with the cluster bombs, with the depleting uranium. All of people from my generations, a lot of them, thanks to it, a lot of them got cancer because it was a genocide bombing for my country. Their propaganda love to say that it's not true, that is fake anti-NATO propaganda, because we got cancer not thanks to the bombs, we got the cancers because we love to eat bad food, we love to smoke, we love to drink. You can see what does mean hypocrisy in that sense. Why they bombed us? They bombed us because we didn't want to accept their human rights and democracy. What does mean? We didn't want to solve our country, we didn't want to solve our natural resources, we didn't want to destroy our financial systems, and it was the reason because they bombed us. We can find a lot of other examples before Yugoslavia and after bombing of Yugoslavia. They bombed Libya, they bombed Iraq, they bombed Afghanistan, and they wanted to destroy any sovereign countries. Today, we can see that NATO led the war in Ukraine against Russia. They led war, thanks to proxy state Israel, against the Palestinian people, and also they led the war against Iran. What they want to do? They want to destroy every country who wants to fight against colonialism, against the imperialism. We need to gather in all progressive forces, and we need to fight in one front against the NATO, against Western imperialism. And our message needs to be clear. NATO soldiers go on home. Long live anti-imperialist struggle. Long live.
NATO killers go home!
NATO killers go home!
NATO killers go home!
NATO killers go home!
Next speech is the
Hello, comrades. First, let me express my joy being here with so many newcomers from different countries around the world, coming here to this important event to support the solidarity of the peoples against the imperialism, against the NATO expansion and the NATO aggression. And it's very important being here, especially because of the NATO summit that will be happening here these days. Now is the time to stand against this imperialist structure. We live in a historical moment. All the world is in tension. We see what happens in Palestine, what happens in the Middle East, in the Eastern Europe, in the East Asia. All the peoples around the world, they're opening their eyes now. They're seeing what NATO means. They're seeing what imperialism means. We have to unite all the positive, all the healthy forces around the world in this historical struggle between the imperialist camp and the anti-imperialist forces around the world. We have to support any struggle of any people, no matter where it's located, no matter what means it used. Imperialism must be defeated and will be defeated. And I believe this will happen more soon than it seems to many people. Now, the imperialists seem strong, but as we know from the Communist Party, is a tiger paper. Imperialism could be defeated and will be defeated by the united people around the world. I want to share you the greetings of the Bulgarian people that are also part of this NATO organization. It's become a primary issue in our country in the last 20 years. We have been military occupied. We have several military bases of the American imperialism in our country. We want these bases to be removed. We want our countries to get out of NATO. We also want NATO to get out of our country. We think that the future is of the sovereignty, free nations, and the future belongs to socialism. Thank you so much.
Let's chant together. Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Down with NATO!
Down with NATO!
Stop bombing Iran!
Stop bombing Iran!
Stop bombing Iran!
Stop bombing Iran!
Next speech is Revolutionary Unification Congress.
Dear comrades, let me salute you on behalf of the Revolutionary Unification, on behalf of Revolutionary Unification, a communist organization in Spain. Let me salute you.
저 줄여버렸어요.
Okay. Let me salute you on behalf of the communist organization Revolutionary Unification. Let me mention additionally what was told by now. We have spent what before. During the Second World War, we had acts of anti-communism treated by Nazi Germany. Nowadays, we have the acts which is led by USA, the acts of NATO, European Union, and other imperialist international organizations and institutions. We know very well what NATO means and what USA means in our country and in Balkans as a whole. We know that the collaborators of the Nazist occupation became collaborators of the USA NATO occupation. We have NATO bases and American bases in our country, Greece. No sovereignty can be achieved when we have foreign army in our motherland. So we have to fight to defend imperial access of nowadays to defend NATO, to crush NATO, because nowadays NATO is an organization which is not only reactionary, anti-communist. It's an organization which is by plan prepared as a superstructure of the dictatorship all over the planet, led by so all the people around the world, they have to fight, they have to unite against imperialism, against NATO. Our whole anti-imperialist platform is the platform of the preparing the victorious frontal movement against imperialism. Defend NATO, liberation to the people.
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Down with NATO!
Down with NATO!
Next speech is Communist Organization Germany.
start with some chants together with you. So I chant and you repeat, okay? From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And now, because anti-imperialism always means internationalism, I want to repeat that in Arabic. Again, I shout and you repeat, okay? It's easy. من المية للمية فلسطين عربية
فلسطين عربية
من المية للمية فلسطين عربية Comrades, we stand here in the center of imperialists in Europe, in The Hague, in Netherlands. We are here today because the warmongers of NATO are gathering here to plan their wars against the people of the world. They are preparing wars against Iran, against Russia, and against China. They are waging war against all those who do not submit to the so-called rule-based order. But what exactly this means, the rule-based order? The name is misleading, as it makes it seem like opposing it means supporting chaos and disorder. But the opposite is true. The rules of this order are the laws of imperialism, which are responsible for inequality, hunger, war, and displacement. It is therefore only natural that the people of the world turn against these rules of the law and strong and question them. It is also not correct to describe this system, imperialism, as an order, because it's an extremely chaotic system. At the latest, since the beginning of the Russian military operation in Ukraine, imperialism has been challenged politically and militarily. This courage step by the Russian Federation has triggered the shift towards the liberation struggles of the world and the end of US hegemony. The peoples of the Sahel have decided to free themselves from French colonial power and have embarked on an independent and self-determinate path of development. On October 7, 2023, the heroic resistance of Palestine broke out of the open air prison and showed the whole world that Gaza is alive and that the liberation of Palestine from Zionism is not an abstract idea, but a real possibility. The power of all this resistance against imperialism has a lasting effect on the subject factor on the international class struggle. Imperialism is in deep crisis in its way out of mass destruction and genocide. A few days ago, the Zionist entity Israel illegally attacked the Islamic Republic of Iran under international law. The USA bombed Iran's civilian infrastructure with bunker-busting bombs. War preparations against China are in full swing. The danger of the Third World War is not longer abstract, but very clear and real. NATO is playing with fire and is facing determined resistance, something that those discussing their war plans today in the summit of Den Haag are well aware of. Here in the center of imperialism, they sell us the lie that it is in our interest to pay for these wars with our tax money. They say it's for our security. But what do we gain from attacking the people of the world when their legitimate resistance can strike us at any time? We do not want war. We do not want to die so that the rich can line their pockets with our tax money. The people of Russia, Palestine, Iran, China, Venezuela, Cuba, Vietnam, Nicaragua, Sudan, and Libya are not our enemies. They are our friends. We demand an end to the bombing of Gaza and Iran. We demand a stop of all economic, political, and military relations with Israel. We demand an end to all armed deliveries to Ukraine. We demand the lifting of all sanctions against Cuba, Venezuela, Iran, Nicaragua, and Russia. NATO must be dissolved. Freedom for Palestine and all oppressed people of the world. Long live the proletarian internationalism.
Let's chant again. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
The last speech is the Communist Party of Great Britain, Marxist Lenin. Okay, comrades, as you've heard from the other speakers, just down the road from where we stand right now, the war planners are desperately trying to work out how to save their position as the dominators of the world. They are desperately trying to work out how to save their proxy, Israel, which is supposed to guarantee their ability to loot the Middle East's oil, and which right now is entering a terminal meltdown and decline from which it will not recover because of the repeated blows of the Middle Eastern resistance, which have been a long time coming, and which now are reaching a decisive moment in history. With this defeat, the imperialists are really in trouble. They repeatedly assure us that they are all powerful, but the resistance is showing the reverse. In Yemen, in Gaza, in Lebanon, and in Iran, the blows that have been struck against US, British, French imperialism have been tremendous. So the NATO war planners will be scrambling in their meeting to try to work out what to do to save Israel from its defeat and demise. They are also trying to work out how to keep the war going against Russia while also turning their attention to China. China is their strategic goal. We know this. They have been hoping to pick off their enemies one by one, to isolate them from one another, to isolate the members of the anti-imperialist camp, separate them and pick them up. They succeeded with Syria, and they have become emboldened that this is a good strategy. That's what they thought they were doing when they attacked Russia. They failed, and it reversed on them. They had the economic problems they wanted to inflict on Russia. They have the social problems they tried to inflict on Russia. They have the military problems they tried to inflict on Russia. And they have the political problems they tried to inflict on Russia. And Russia's success is inspiring resistance around the world. Russia and China are closer today than they have ever been, despite the imperialist plans to separate them and take them one at a time in order to maintain their global hegemony, in order to save their crisis-ridden system, which right now is teetering on the brink of a total meltdown. Now, the imperialists understand that their only chance of success is to separate us into smaller groups and take us piece by piece. We must learn this lesson also. Our strength is collective. Our strength is standing together. The imperialist bloc must be anti-imperialist bloc must be strengthened in every possible way, from inside and from without. And the masses in the imperialist countries have an especially important role to play, because this war machine cannot function without our cooperation, and we must bring this understanding to the workers of our countries. As the comrade from Germany just said, it's not in our interest that our rulers become strong by looting the world, because that strength they could turn against us. They use to exploit us, destroy our lives, push down our wages, take our schools and our hospitals, and they make us targets for the resistance and for the countries they make war on. Our common cause is with the targets of imperialist aggression. We must work for the victory of Iran, the victory of Russia, the victory of China. These are blows at our common enemy, and we must bring this understanding to workers in our country. We must have a mass movement of non-cooperation with the NATO war machine. We must sabotage and disrupt every aspect of its workings. They cannot fight these wars without us, and they must be stopped. Death to NATO and victory to the resistance. Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Okay. Next speech will be the Communist Party of Belgium, which is the country has the headquarters of NATO.
Beste vrienden, ik breng u de groet.
아니 저거 근데 옆에 잡고 있어. 잡고 있지 말고.
Beste vrienden, ik breng u de groet uit België, van de Belgische afdeling van het Wereld Anti-imperialistisch platform en de Communistische Partij van België. Vandaag komen de bond van de NATO bijeen in Brussel. In het hoofdgebouw, het hoofdkwartier van de NATO. En die bonzen van de NATO zitten daar diep weg verscholen. Verscholen achter duizenden politieagenten en duizenden gendarmes. Want de NATO-bonzen zijn bang. Wij zijn niet bang voor de NATO. Zij zijn bang voor de beweging die hen uiteindelijk zal wegvegen. De beweging die vandaag duizenden mensen laat optrekken naar het NATO-hoofdkwartier in Brussel. Die zal eisen dat de 20 Amerikaanse kernbommen weg moeten uit België. Dat de Amerikaanse militaire basis in Merzij sluit. En die eisen dat het NATO-kwartier voorgoed verdwijnt uit onze regio. Daarom, wij zullen de NATO wegvegen. Met duizenden vandaag, met 10.000 morgen, met 100.000 later. En op die manier zal dit uitschot, dit uitveegsel van de wereld voorgoed worden weggezuiverd uit België. Beste vrienden, wij zullen winnen. De NATO zal verliezen. Een nieuw tijdperk van vrede en van echte socialisme waar de werkmensen het voor het zeggen hebben, staat voor ons.
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Disband NATO!
Next is Communist Radio Canada.
de la historia mundial. Había estructuras de poder imperialista que duran décadas obligaron a nuestro pueblo por la fuerza de las armas, la propaganda, En el corazón del imperialismo contemporáneo se libra una lucha entre dos grandes facciones. Por un lado están los peritistas, los que viven de la guerra, los fabricantes de la muerte. Ellos son los dueños del complejo militar y industrial, los que impulsan las ocupaciones, los que lucran con cada bomba lanzada en nombre de la democracia. Son los neoconservadores, los que sueñan con una nueva guerra fría, los que no dudan en
empujar al mundo al borde del abismo nuclear, y eso le garantiza contratos millonarios y dominio geopolítico. Pero del otro lado están las grandes conglomerados económicos, los que quieren mercados, las corporaciones transnacionales globalistas, que prefieren acuerdos comerciales antes que enfrentamientos militares. No por principios, sino por beneficios. Ellos también son parte del imperialismo, pero están enfrentados a los beneficios porque sus intereses no son los mismos. Quieren estabilidad, no conflictos, integración económica, no sanciones, ni bloqueos. Lo estamos viendo ahora. Estas dos caras del mismo monstruo ya no se entienden. Estados Unidos amenaza con retirarse de alianzas. Europa duda entre seguir a Washington o trazar su propio rumbo. Dentro del G7 y la OTAN ya no hay unidad, sino disputas, desconfianzas, competencias. Las fracturas se multiplican y eso no es casualidad. Es el reflejo de un sistema en decadencia, de un orden mundial que ya no puede sostenerse ni con armas ni con discursos vacíos. Mientras el imperialismo se desgasta, nuestros pueblos se levantan. En Europa, en América, en Asia y África surgen fuerzas soberanistas, nacionalistas, populares, revolucionarias. Algunos aún confusas, otros ya decididos, pero todas responden de un modo u otro a la misma verdad, a la era de la dominación unipolar que está llegando a su fin. No nos engañemos, este proceso no es automático. La bestia herida puede ser aún más peligrosa, lo estamos viendo, pero también es más vulnerable. Y en esa vulnerabilidad está nuestra posibilidad histórica. Es ahora cuando debemos levantar más alto que nunca la bandera de la soberanía, la justicia social y la autodeterminación de los pueblos. Es ahora cuando debemos construir un frente antiimperialista mundial. Estas luchas, coordinar estrategias, compartir historias, compañeros y compañeras, que las contradicciones del enemigo no nos limitan. La historia no está escrita, la escriben los pueblos cuando deciden luchar. Viva la unidad antiimperialista, viva la lucha por un mundo multipolar, por una zona libre de armas atómicas en el Medio Oriente, por una Palestina libre. Hasta la victoria siempre.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Disband NATO! Disband NATO! Okay, we end this demonstration with the International. We only sang the first verse.
구구인 것 같아.
anti-imperialist platform will demonstrate against NATO summit during the NATO summit in The Hague. Thank you very much.